Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome here to the launch pad and our live launch coverage of the second attempt of the maiden flight of Kairos from SpaceOne in Japan. We are at T-minus 31 minutes and counting till launch. We're glad to have you joining us here. If it's your first time, welcome. My name's Zach. I'm the founder and host here at the launch pad, and here at TLP Network, it's our mission to inform and inspire the explorers of tomorrow, because we believe that space is better together. And you're looking at a live view from Japan, where many are gathering to watch the maiden flight of Kairos from SpaceOne launchpad at Spaceport Key in Japan. This flight, should it take place, will be the 48th orbital launch attempt of this year, and we are going to be listening in to their live commentary coverage, which is expected to begin about 30 seconds from now. Today's vehicle is a 4-stage rocket that costs about $9 million per flight. It stands 18 meters tall with a fairing height of 4 meters with a fairing diameter of 1.5 meters. There are 0 strap-ons today, and it's able to carry 250 kilograms to low Earth orbit. On board is a prototype of a quick response satellite for the Japanese government Cabinet Satellite Intelligence Center, which operates the IGS series of Japanese spy satellites. Now, as we continue through the count, we're going to be listening into their commentary, but we'll be answering your guys' comments and questions in the chat. Just make sure you're sending us those by tagging us at the launch pad, and we'll work on answering those live. We, of course, are also counting down to the launch of Starship Flight 3, T-minus 1 day, 10 hours, 28 minutes. Take a look at a live view of Starbase Texas on our 24/7 Countdown to Launch stream, and we invite you to join us for our live commentary launch coverage starting a number of hours prior to propellant low. We're going to listen in to SpaceOne commentators and mission control as we count down T-minus 29 minutes, 22 seconds and counting till launch.
に向かって移動しまして、ロケットカイロスの姿が確認できます。次にスペースワン株式会社の概要を説明します。スペースワン株式会社とは、人工衛星を専用の射場から専用の小型ロケットを使って宇宙に運ぶ日本初の民間企業です。スペースワンの宇宙輸送サービスとして専用のロケットと射場で宇宙へのアクセスコストを下げ、宇宙ビジネスのさらなる拡大に貢献しております。次に和歌山県の南部に位置する那智勝浦町と串本町の間になぜロケット発射場ができたのかということですが、理由1、射点の南に陸地や島がない。理由2、射点の周りに建物や人がない。理由3、本州の工場からアクセスが良いから。そして4つ目の理由としまして、地元の理解と協力があるからとなっております。地形や環境条件に加え、地域の支えがあってのロケット発射となっております。では最後にロケットカイロスの概要を説明いたします。固体燃料3段式軌道変更用液体エンジンとなっており、高さおよそ18メートル、重量およそ23トン、直径およそ 1.35 メートルです。下から第1段、第2段、第3弾とあり、先端部分のフェアリングに衛星があります。このようなロケットを多段式ロケットと言いまして、燃料を使い終わった順に切り離してより軽く、より速く飛んでいきます。そして本日の打ち上げですが、ロケットの先端部分にある衛星が軌道に乗って成功となるそうです。成功すれば日本初となる民間ロケットの打ち上げとなります。打ち上げ時刻は午前11時1分12秒を予定しております。今日は皆さんでカイロスの打ち上げ成功を祈りましょう。
And if you're just joining us, you are looking at a live view of SpaceOne Launchpad at Spaceport Key in Japan, where they are retracting away that structure, revealing the Kairos rocket as we are at T-minus 22 minutes, 56 seconds, and counting till launch. On board the four-stage launch vehicle is a prototype quick-response satellite for the Japanese Government Cabinet Satellite Intelligence Center. They're the ones who operate the IGS series of Japanese spy satellites. If you haven't yet, take a moment, engage that like button, share out the stream, invite people to join us. Let us know in the chat where you're watching from as well. We'll give some shout outs. I know we got people tuning on all over the world, and we're glad to have you here. I see we got Steve in Kentucky. Great to have you. Margaret's in Ventura, California. Me is in Colorado. We got Liz in Michigan. Great to have you here. Denise and Park, new intros, loving it. Thanks so much. We're super excited for that new intro there. We got Anders is in Sweden. Great to have you here. We got Ronald in Florida. Lots of people tuning in. North Carolina, San Diego, Michigan, California, Houston, Texas, Kerrville, Texas, Houston, Iowa, Boston. Asgard's in the house. Hello, welcome. We got the UK. We got Huntsville, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Great to have you all here. T-minus 21 minutes, 45 seconds, and counting. That vehicle support structure building is finishing its retraction. To the top right of the building, you can see on the side of the mountain a windsock. We are keeping, of course, a live look at the wind weather conditions down on the spaceport as we count down through the final minutes of the count. We are listening into the live mission control audio, so any updates that we hear from them or their commentators will come straight through here. If you guys have questions, you can send those in the chat by tagging us at the Launchpad. We got King Wolf coming in from Canada, Ontario. We got Tyler in Nebraska. David's in New Zealand. Great to have you here. We got Delaware, Phoenix, Tennessee, Kieran Zimboro. We got Cap in Georgia. We got Truth in Virginia. Joshua's in Hawaii. We've got Jonathan from California. Sean's in Montreal. Paul's in Sherwood Forest. Pilot's in South Carolina. Great to have you all tuning in. If you guys have questions, you can keep sending those in the chat by tagging us at the Launchpad, and we'll work on answering those to the best of our ability while we go through the final 20 minutes, 40 seconds of the count. Terry at TOP, thank you for having an amazing channel to watch a great assortment of launches from many locations from a new member of your amazing community. Thank you so much, Terry. I appreciate that. And welcome to the TLP community. And thank you so much for becoming a TLP member. If you guys would like to be like Terry and get that beautiful white helmet next to your name for the first time, which will evolve over colors the longer you're a member, you can hit that join button down below. It starts at just 99 cents a month. Gets you access to having that helmet and our custom TLP launch emojis, which some of the members will drop in the chat, some demonstrations of some of them that are available. We're working on bringing some more online over the coming weeks as well. And there are other tiers where you can go behind the scenes, get early video access, and more. So stay tuned for that. Members are going to get some really unique privileges as we roll out our 24/7 cameras as well. Kurt, thanks so much for becoming a Solar Explorer. We appreciate your support there. We are listening into the live commentary sound feed coming in from SpaceOne, T-minus 19 minutes, 35 seconds, and counting. Listening in for any updates on how the count is progressing. They have yet to put a countdown actually on the screen like they did previously. So if they do, we will patch that in to give you that live synced countdown clock to SpaceOne. But at this time, we are still awaiting that countdown to begin. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome here to the launch pad. If you're just joining us, you are looking at a live view of SpaceOne launch pad at the Spaceport Key, where SpaceOne, a new startup in Japan, is preparing to launch their Kairos launch vehicle. You can see a live look at the pad there. The vehicle is a 4-stage launch vehicle, the solid rocket that stands 18 meters tall. The fairing at the very top there stands 4 meters in height with a 1.5 meter diameter. As you can see, there are no strap-on boosters for this vehicle. This vehicle can carry up to 250 kilograms to low Earth orbit, but today it will be launching a prototype quick response satellite for the Japanese Government Cabinet Satellite Intelligence Center. They operate the IGS series of Japanese spy satellites. On board is just that one prototype that will be launching actually into a sun-synchronous orbit here today. The estimated cost of today's launch is about $9 million and is the first of a number of them planned as they bring this new launch vehicle online. This is the first time they've ever tried to fly one. It is the maiden flight, T-minus 10 minutes, 30 seconds and counting. We are monitoring the wind conditions down at the site. You can see that windsock on the right side of your screen heading really straight out. Definitely something to monitor as we get closer to that estimated T0. Once we have an update, we will listen in and patch that in as well. We're hoping to have commentary coverage begin here shortly. We did see a boat pass in the background not too long ago, and we're hoping to see no more boats appear on the horizon, as it's estimated that that was one of the conditions that was violated during the last launch attempt late last week.
We see another boat.
If you guys have questions, you can send those in the chat by tagging us at the launch pad, and you can answer those live by tagging us at the launch pad. I don't know how that happened, but that's fun. That's a hot mic. Kieran's listening in. We've been practicing for Starship IFT-3, and that was fabulous. Well done. Well done. If you guys have questions, you can keep sending those in the chat. I will tag them by tagging us at the launch pad. Space is better together, everyone. It definitely is. And we're glad to have you all joining us here. We're listening in to live mission control audio from SpaceOne. Stay with us as we're at T-minus 9 minutes, 5 seconds and counting to the maiden flight of Kairos. And good evening, everyone. Welcome here to the launch pad. You're looking at a live view from Japan at the SpaceOne launch pad at Spaceport Key in Japan, where SpaceOne is preparing to launch their KAIROS rocket for the first time. We did have an estimated T0 of 10:01 p.m. Eastern Time, which is now just under 3 minutes and counting. We've yet to have a T0 update or any sort of commentary come in, but we are keeping a close eye on these two feeds coming in live from Japan as we count down that final 2 minutes, 42 seconds and counting. As always, here at the launch pad, in those final minutes of the count, we want to see a go, no go from you guys in the chat. So we're going to do that now as we hit T-minus 2 minutes, 30 seconds and counting till launch. If you're a TLP member, you can use those custom TLP launch emojis there in the chat. If not, consider hitting that join button, just 99 cents a month. Gets you that TLP helmet next to your name in green and access to those launch emojis as well. The countdown seems to be continuing to progress, as we did see the retraction of the large tower away from the vehicle about 15 minutes ago. T-minus 2 minutes and counting. We've not had any audio come through. I'm not sure if someone hit a mute button on their end, but we've double checked all of our ends and have zero audio coming in through the clean feed here. T-minus 1 minute, 45 seconds and counting till that estimated T0 approximately. If you haven't yet, take a moment, engage that like button, share out the stream, invite people to join us as we continue to count down to launch. We will work on syncing our T0s should we have liftoff or an updated time on the screen. They were targeting 10:01 p.m. Eastern Time, 11:01 local, which is now less than 60 seconds away. You're looking at a live helicopter view and pad view from Spaceport Key in Japan as we await the maiden flight of KAIROS. On board a payload of a simulated spy sat for the Japanese intelligence agencies. T-minus 35 seconds and counting approximately. This is a solid rocket vehicle, which is 4 stages, so if it is going to fly, we're going to see an ignition and it hop off the pad very quickly here, and we expect that to occur anytime in the next 60 seconds. We'll give a quick headphone warning as we do not know what the audio conditions are set for this. We are now within that targeted launch minute. We have ignition and liftoff of KAIROS. We have had a launch anomaly of the KAIROS launch vehicle just a few seconds into flight. Taking it to the wide shot here of both views, you can see the launch vehicle has suffered an anomaly during that flight. This was the maiden flight of this vehicle, a 4-stage solid rocket vehicle carrying a prototype quick response satellite for the Japanese government Cabinet Satellite Intelligence Center. Unfortunately, space is very difficult. You can see the aftermath there at the pad from the liftoff that occurred right around 11:01 in about 40 seconds local time. We'll wait to see if we get any sort of updates from SpaceOne in the coming hours and days. Obviously, they will have to investigate what occurred with the launch vehicle, as that it suffered an anomaly just a few seconds into flight. I would hypothesize that that was not a issue with the wind conditions, but some sort of situation with the launch vehicle itself. Space, unfortunately, is hard, and it takes these maiden flights to prove these new launch vehicles. Emergency crews will be dispatched to the local region to take care of the situation on the ground, but also keeping safety as their key priority as they approach the aftermath of a launch failure. If you're just joining us, you are looking at a live view from the SpaceOne launch pad at Spaceport Key, where there has been a launch anomaly just seconds into flight of the Kairos vehicle on its maiden flight. A large fire has now erupted on the hillside next to the launch site. We don't know much more than this. His commentary has been basically nil, but we can see that it is indeed spreading, and you can see there on the left side of your screen, if we go onto the bigger view here, that it is growing in size at this time. It's starting to ignite that looks like tree on fire as it continues to spread. This was a solid stage launch vehicle. It was a 4-stage vehicle, all solid fuel. It's a small sat launch vehicle. They were founded in 2018 by Canon Electronics, IHI Aerospace, construction company Shimizu, and a government-backed development bank of Japan. We will stay alive as long as we do have these views from the region. I don't expect them to last ultimately this too much longer, as there's not going to be, unfortunately, much more to see for today's flight. If you guys have questions, you can send those in the chat, tagging us at the launch pad. We will work on answering those live to the best of our ability while we continue to monitor the situation at Spaceport Key. Space, unfortunately, is hard. We will work on getting a clipped version of that flight up on your screen, up on the channel here, following the broadcast. We can take this to the full screen. They have turned on the water sprinkler at the pad. I'm not sure if this is to protect the pad or is just standard operations of what they are doing, but we can see that that has become active. We will work on doing a quick on the ball replay here. If you bear with us just a moment as we look to see a replay of that launch anomaly that occurred just a few moments ago. On the left side of your screen is a live view from the spaceport. On the right side of your screen, a replay of about 5-6 minutes ago of the launch failure of the Kairos launch vehicle. You can see that fire looking like it's been extinguished a bit around the pad. Still some dark smoke rising from down the road. On the right side of your screen, this is a replay of about 6 minutes ago when SpaceOne attempted to launch their vehicle for the first time. We're going to take this full screen for a replay here. This is a replay of about 6 minutes ago. We should have that liftoff in just a moment for the replay of what occurred. We will release this on the channel here in the coming minutes. We'll try to also do a slow-mo version to see if we can see ultimately where the anomaly occurred. But ultimately we'll have to wait for that investigation to be completed by SpaceOne and the Japanese authorities. If you have questions, you can send those in the chat by tagging us at the launch pad, and I can try to answer some of those for you. Ultimately, we don't know much of what was happening. There was no commentary coverage. There you have liftoff on a replay of moments ago. You can see a few seconds into flight and a full anomaly of the launch vehicle. It does look like all the stages, there's not very many large chunks that we saw from it, so we'll have to wait till the smoke clears. But that is a replay from earlier. Now going back to looking at the live view on the left side of your screen. This is what we are seeing currently occurring down at the launch site. They will be running their protocols on how to approach the pad and how to continue from that anomaly that has now occurred. Helicopter is taking a closer look at the pad itself. The pad itself looks like it has suffered minimal damage, but it looks like the rocket did fall into that valley just to the side of the launch facility. With us not going to be getting much more information expected from this, we're going to wrap up our live coverage of this unfortunate failure of the maiden flight of Kairos from the new launch company SpaceOne, which was founded in 2018. This was their first flight of their 4-stage all-solid fuel small satellite launch vehicle. On behalf of the entire TLP crew, we send our thoughts to everyone that worked on this vehicle. Space is hard. This was a maiden flight, and we hope that they will be able to study it, investigate it, and be back out at the pad when the time is right to have another launch attempt of Kairos as we enter this new era of space exploration with so many new launch vehicles coming online. Unfortunately, failures are expected, and we see them, and it's all about how the company can bounce back. But that's going to do it for us from our TLP Canada studio. If you haven't yet, subscribe so you never miss another live launch coverage. We're counting down to launch of Starship IFT-3, T-minus 1 day, 9 hours, 50 minutes, and counting. From our TLP Canada studio, my name's Zach, and we'll see you next time, because space is better together, and good night.